this video is going to be a bit of a reaction. I know it's delayed, I'm rubbish, I know. Bit of a delayed reaction to Saturday's result against Newcastle. I've got to talk about the Billy Bonds stand and the naming and the whole event. And then from that, I'm probably going to lead on to something else to do with the stands and the naming. So anyway, the result, brilliant. I don't think it was ever really in doubt. I mean, Newcastle looked really poor. And I thought we'd win, but then I started to read stats about their form away from home, and they hadn't lost to anyone outside the top six. Then I was concerned. But what I saw on Saturday, there was nothing to be concerned about. We were in control of it the whole game. It was fantastic to see Lanzini back. I mean, it is incredible to think that he played the full 90 minutes with that injury. I mean, he's come back quick from the injury, and he doesn't look like he's a player that's been out injured for that long with such a serious injury. So good to see him back. And as I said, I think in my last video, you can see what we're missing, what we've been missing. So that was good. Rice getting his second goal, always good. Obviously that kind of shut the Newcastle fans up with the comparisons between him and Longstaff. You know, as I said in the video, I haven't got any idea about him, so I couldn't comment, but there was no doubting. And I've even seen some Newcastle fans say, apart from the goal, we did nothing. I mean, they must have been in a really crappy seat in the London Stadium, or if they were watching on Sky, they've got no idea about football, because you cannot say that he weren't involved in the game. He was superb. Again, he's superb every single game. Fabianski, fantastic save at the end. It was a great team performance, and that's what we like to see. For me, Saturday, as much as it was fantastic, it wasn't about that. It was about Billy Bonds. I went with my dad on Saturday, and my dad has always spoke so highly of Bonds and said, you know what, basically I missed a legend playing, and you know, I've missed quite a few legends playing, really. You know, we've had a few of our own, but not to that level. And, you know, the way he came out, you can see how much it meant to him. It was emotional. It was amazing. And it did create a good atmosphere, which you don't often have in the London Stadium. Now, I've seen this has sort of generated loads of chat about, is the London Stadium getting better? Is it starting to feel like home? There is no doubting that Saturday's atmosphere was far superior to what it has been most times since we've moved. I also think that some of the things that are going on outside the ground, they've got band and a DJ, although if anyone saw it, please tell me. There's a little bar, it's quite cool, and there's a man in his apron that clearly works in the bar, and he was singing in his apron. I did have a video of it, I've got to find that actually. Let me know if you saw it. It was random. He started doing the moonwalk and everything. But that wasn't the entertainment I was referring to. But there's definitely a better vibe around the London Stadium. But when I see the likes of Billy Bonds come out, and I watched the video that West Ham put out beforehand, and he was saying that West Ham's nothing about the fans, he gets it. He gets what it is to be West Ham. And I find it a little bit sad that era's kind of dying. But Saturday was a touch of that, and I enjoyed it. And I think you've got to give credit to the club. They did a good job with that, so it was good to see. Because of the naming of the Billy Bonds stand, there's been talks about what we would name the West Stand. Now, in my personal opinion, I don't think we should name it anything. I think we should just leave it without a name. You know, for years we've not had stands named after people. We only had Trevor Brooking and the Bobby Moore stand, and rightly so. I've always thought Billy Bonds should have a stand personally, because of what my dad said about him. I can't comment myself, but a legend, you know, the amount of appearances, that just won't happen again. But there's been lots of talk about who should the stand be named after. I think we should just leave it, because who's to say that we won't have another legend, not to the degree of Billy Bonds making that many appearances, but who's to say we won't have another legend in the game? You know, if Declan Rice was to stay with us for years, it's not going to happen, I know. But, you know, if we start winning things, we win an FA Cup or League Cup, not League Cup, but an FA Cup, and, you know, Declan Rice is captain, And he stays with us forever. I know it's not happening because that's just not football now, but you just don't know these things. I think just leave it. Just leave it. I mean, people talk about Noble. Now, he gets a lot of stick, and I love Noble. I do, because he is what West Ham is. He's Mr. West Ham, as everyone says. But I don't think you can be calling for the stand to be named after him. Certainly not yet. If he was to go on and maybe we were to win a FA Cup while he's there and he's captain, maybe. But it's not something we should be doing. And I don't think we should be naming it after anyone. The only thing I did see, someone suggested it being called the Bowling Stand. And that I might be in agreement with, because we need some of our history of what was West Ham. And, you know, I hate the fact we've moved. I still can't get over it. Seen the pictures with the flats. But maybe having some sort of connection there. Or the other thing someone did mention, I think it was on TalkSport tonight, is about having, it's like the academy stand. And then within that, there'd be the different players that come through the academy. That's quite a nice touch. It's not dedicating it to one person. But I just wanted to know what your thoughts were. Do you think that we should be naming it after anyone? Do you think we should just leave it, just the West Stand? Or is there a certain player from years ago that you would like to see? Do you think the idea of a Mark Noble stand is absolutely laughable? I guarantee there are tons of people that would go mental if that happened. I'd just be interested to know what you think. What would you like the stand to be named after? Who would you like it to be named after? Do you think we just leave it, just on the off chance we might have another legend at some point?
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment, and follow me on Twitter @Flub9. Come on, you guys.